Give it up for Mr. Lars Eller!
Hey, let's give it up for Mike. Let's give it up for Wyatt. I'm nervous following a bunch of killers like that. It's crazy. This lineup's insane. So this is my second time doing stand-up. I still get pretty nervous getting on stage. You know, I was talking to my grandma before the show, and I was like, you know, what if it doesn't go well? What if it sucks? What if I'm not funny, right? And she's like, cut me off, no hesitation. Buddy, you're not funny. This is gonna fucking suck. And she's like, but you know what? You're probably gonna bomb. If that's the case, make it, you know, one of the more memorable bombings people have seen. You know, make them put it right up there with Pearl Harbor. You know, Hiroshima, Boston Marathon, the true classics of our fucking time. You know? So much like Karen, I like to do that little dad thing where I stand in front of the TV, right? But I like to watch Roku City just go by. I was on hour 3 of that shit the other day, and I saw an ad for a TV show on AMC called Mayfair Witches.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is about. I've never heard of it, but I thought of my own TV show. I'll go ahead and pitch it, don't worry. The show would be called Wayfair Witches. Right? And the whole premise is just a coven of witches trying to offload a $35,000 cabinet named Lucas. So you ever have like an idea that just comes to you in a dream? I had one. I'll go ahead and share it. I got up, I wrote it down. Firearm in a slut's hand. Call him gun ho. Yeah? All right. So my cousin Rob has Down syndrome, and you know, I don't know what your guys' dynamic with your cousins are, but you know, we'd rip on each other, and Rob was no exception. But I'll tell you why I stopped ripping on Rob. He knows my insecurities too much. He knows I'm insecure about my financial situation. And one day I said some stupid shit, like, I don't know, I called him Robert Downey III or something. And anyway, so, you know, he knows my insecurities. He walks over to me, he throws a big pile of money on me, he says, I may be down, but I'm up, broke bitch. And I'm not in the situation where I can't just like not pick up those bills. So like I'm like picking these up. Everybody in the mall parking lot just saw my cousin Rob in his oversized John Cena t-shirt and Jordans just fucking stunt on my ass. So growing up, my parents split up early in my life. Don't worry, I'm not gonna trauma dump, but they split up early and I don't think they ever really got on the same page of how they were gonna raise me. You know, they approach things in vastly different ways. I'll give you an example. My mom, whenever it came to giving me advice or a little pep talk, she would be like, you know, Lars, you're gonna go out, just give it a shot. If you fall down, I'll always be here to pick you up, dust you off, and send you out to try it again. We were talking about drugs. No, I'm just kidding. But my dad, you know, he was a different bird. He flew a different migration path. You know, my dad's advice sounded something, I haven't talked to him in a while, but one of the pieces of advice that he gave to me that kind of stuck with me was, son, don't you ever in your fucking life turn down a blowjob from a fat chick. I was like, dude, that's kind of fucked up, dude. You know, this is a different time. This is a different era. I don't think you realize how insulting what you just said is, you know? You should address them as fat ladies like a goddamn gentleman. Anywho, you know, I hear this advice. I didn't know what to do with it. I was 8, you know? 8-year-old, I didn't know what a blowjob was. I thought it was just... You know, it wasn't until I got older and wiser that I found out what one was, and there's no way in hell I'd turn one down. Aside from those times at my uncle's house, of course. Alright, that's all I've got, y'all. Thank you.
Keep it going to Lars, you guys.